I am not looking forward to this weekend. Not in the absolute slightest. Welcome to the show. This is Deal with the Devil, mainly a Manchester United podcast. And we are previewing Liverpool against Manchester United. This is a bit of a nightmare. This is a bit of... This reminds me of whenever I was young. So I grew up just after the Champions League win of 99. I didn't get to experience it fully. But what I did experience fully was Liverpool being absolute garbage and Manchester United being phenomenal. My dad was a Liverpool fan. He wanted me to be a Liverpool fan, and I just didn't feel it. From a young age, I didn't associate with any of the players. It just didn't come to me. And then along came Ruud van Nistelrooy. And that's what started my love affair with Man United. That's what started my love affair really with football. And those days, they were packed with Liverpool defeats, with Liverpool struggling in the league, in the cup. They were good in Europe, I'll give them that, under Benitez. But overall, they were pretty garbage. However, they were never this garbage. They were never this bad. I mean, we're in 14th place in the league. We're at Christmas. So it's not exactly the halfway mark. But it's a good time of year to really assess what's going on. And things are going poorly. Really poorly. But Liverpool never had it this poorly. Arsenal, under Wenger, whenever things sort of going awry, whenever they moved away from Highbury, never had it this bad. Chelsea did the last couple of seasons, granted, they did, and they've recovered fantastically, so let's hope that happens to us. But this is sort of unprecedented. Chelsea are a clown of a club. They will be top of the table, probably again in the next couple of years if they continue in this trajectory. But also, would you bet your house on them not finishing 9th, 10th, 11th again in the future? No. In terms of ourselves, I worry, what is happening here? Is this our future? Is this how things are going to go moving forward? I don't know. Our next two games are against Liverpool away and Arsenal away. So, that's going to be fun. 14th in the league. We're 7 points off 18th placed Ipswich. Newly promoted Ipswich. Ipswich, who haven't been in the league in, 23 years maybe? Something like that. Back when Titus Bramble was in the heart of their defence. Oof, not good. Not good. 7 points off Ipswich. In the last 8 games, we've scored 9 goals. Ten Hag was often criticised for the team's inability to put the ball in the back of the net. 8 games, 9 goals. Okay, so you could look at it and say we're scoring, on average, a goal a game. It doesn't quite work out like that, but a goal a game. 18 goals conceded, however, in the last 8 games, all under Amorim, all under his system. And no goals in the last 3 games. We are a shambles right now. And this isn't like under Ten Hag, where we looked like scoring but we just couldn't score. We don't look as though we're capable of scoring. Against Bournemouth, we did create chances. In credit to us, we did create chances. Our expected goals were 2.7 or something like that. But that is... it's deceiving. Because some of our chances, or at least 1 or 2 of our chances, were pretty high. So it gives the impression that, throughout the match we created these great chances. We scuffed shots. Bruno missed the target numerous times. Against Newcastle, we did not look like scoring that whole match. When Cobby came on, he made a difference. However, we did not look good whatsoever. We did not look as though we could do anything. Højlund was making lots of runs. He was trying. Is that enough? If you want someone to try, put me up front. He scored 2 goals in the league so far this season. 2 goals. It's not enough. It's not enough for a Manchester United forward. It's just not enough. We are oddly 10 points off the European places. To me, in my mind, that's 5th place, by the way. To me, in my mind, that doesn't sound too bad. It's not out of the question that we could get up there. If you look at, if you don't take anything that's happened this season already, and you just say, Manchester United, can they make up 10 points on, I believe it's Newcastle? You would look at it and say, yeah, we're Manchester United, of course we can go on a run. Whenever I come back to reality, however, I think we're in this formation, the players do not fit this formation. How are we going to come back? Ooh. A lot of fans are talking about the idea of relegation. If you listen to Talk Sport, numerous fans called in. One fan actually called for relegation. Suggested it would be good for us to be relegated. That is ridiculous. How the hell would it be good for us to get relegated? To start again. So lose our players, potentially lose our Nike sponsorship, less money coming into the club, have to get back into the Premier League, which I'm sure we would, probably first time of asking. But doing that, you're leaving yourself at risk of being a bottom of the table club. You'd be coming up into the league with pundits all saying, will they survive? The idea of us getting relegated does not solve anything, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's a ridiculous suggestion. And we're not going to get relegated. It's just not going to happen. We are terrible at the minute. But we are not so terrible that we're going to get relegated. It's just not going to happen. Southampton are gone. Leicester under Rude don't look in good nick. Do not look in good nick at all. And the other one seems to be Ipswich. Ipswich are putting up a really good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they get out of it. But we're not going to be the third team. There's no chance. There's no chance. Going back to the statistics, we have a -5 goal difference. Liverpool have a +28 goal difference. We are 23 points off Liverpool at this stage. Not at the end of the season. No, we are 23 points off them now. That's wild. That is wild. Can you believe or imagine that ever happening under Fergie? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Liverpool have lost once in 13 against us. Just the once. In their last 3 matches, they've scored 3 or more goals. Salah currently has 30 goal involvements this season. I really don't know how many goal involvements Højlund has. But like I said, he's got 2 in the league. Salah has got 17 goals so far this season, 13 assists. They've also scored, we have scored 1 goal, just the one, in our last 8 visits to Anfield. This is going to be dreadful. This is going to be really difficult. Ten Hag managed to pull off a draw last season, and he went out for a draw. He went out not to be beat. I don't think Amram has that in his DNA. He may now be at a stage where things are going so wrong that he may have to change things up. I don't necessarily think he's going to change his formation, but he may change things up about how we're maybe using that formation, maybe what is expected of certain players, maybe what sort of mentality we're taking into the match. I wouldn't be surprised if he changes things slightly in terms of player responsibilities. I'll talk about my expected team. I say it's expected team. It's not my expected team. It's the team I would consider playing on the day. Amram, though, I think will play the team. Well, who knows what Amram's going to play? He likes rotation. Bruno will be there. Agate will be there. He likes rotation. We know that much. But what he's going to do, who knows? It's not looking good. It's really not looking good. Take away this Liverpool match. It's just not looking good in general. The future is not bright. Certainly short-term future. Everything that's going on with Ineos, the Glazers are still there. The stadium is still a mess. We have mice. Things are not looking good. Things are not looking good. On the pitch, we are atrocious. Gary Neville recently looked at Ollie's last team, and it was better. It was better. There's no question it was better. Ronaldo up front, so a definite goal scorer. He didn't do enough for the team, in my opinion. He didn't track back. He didn't want to track back. He wanted players behind him who could do all the work for him and then feed him, and he will definitely score. You can see why he would still be a worthwhile player. You had Rashford, who he's had a lot of criticism recently, but he's got legs, he's got pace, there's a threat there. He can come out with the unexpected. Do we currently have that in our team right now? I mean, we have Rashford in our team right now, but we don't have him on the pitch. We had Nemanja Matic, whose legs were going. Yeah, they were gone. But we had Scott McTominay. We had a workhorse. We had an absolute workhorse who's doing really well in Italy now. I think a lot of that comes from the expectations of how the game's played over there rather than him actually secretly being a phenomenal footballer. We had Luke Shaw on the pitch, which was nice. I can't remember what that was like. We had David De Gea in goal, who in my mind was possibly the best goalkeeper in the world at the time. We were definitely better. Definitely better. Man for man, across the pitch, we were better. If I think of what I would do as a lineup for this match, Onana has to be in goal. Bayindir has sort of proven that he can't be relied upon, which is a shame. I mean, he's a Turkey international. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's a Turkey international. We've signed him from Fenerbahce. He's not a nobody. He's not a clown. He's not someone who's played League 2 football and we signed him as, just someone to have on the bench just in case. He's someone who we did sign him as a just in case because we got Onana. But surely we looked at him and said, if Onana gets injured, he will play and he'll be fine. I don't think any of us feel that way anymore. Not after that Tottenham match. Mind you, I do feel sorry for him a wee bit because in my mind, that was a foul. I don't like the idea of it being a foul, but by the laws of the game, it is a foul. I miss the idea of a bit of rough up the opposition, of a good hearty challenge. I miss that. But in today's world, that is a foul, definitely, and probably where he comes from. In terms of Turkey, in terms of the Turkish league, it probably would be a foul. Probably would be. It would be a foul in the Premier League, to be fair. It was just because it was the League Cup. But it will be Onana. Has Onana done enough to give me confidence? Absolutely not. He got a lot of praise earlier this year, and a lot of pundits were saying he's been our best player. If that's our best player this season, if he's done enough this season to make us say, yeah, he's come along a lot, then that's scary. That is scary how far we have gone down. But it has to be Onana, because who else do you play? Then in terms of the three that Amram can pick, this is my team. I would be putting De Ligt in the middle of the three. I would be putting Mazraoui to his right, because Mazraoui has been awful as a right wing back. It's just not his position. He can't do it. He can't do it at all. And I would have Lenny Euro on the pitch. Some might say this is not a game to put Euro in because he's young. However, he has that recovery pace. I think that's really important. De Ligt doesn't have it. Harry Maguire doesn't have it. Martinez is not reading the game as well as he did. He's not the butcher anymore. He's the baker or the candlestick maker. He's not the butcher. Mazraoui has had a really good start to the season, but the last couple of games he's been atrocious, and I think changing his position, putting him back into defence, letting him just be defence minded, I think that's for the best. He doesn't offer a threat on the right wing either. As that sort of wing back on the right, I think you have to have Ahmed. Since he's gone a bit further forward, other than that Man City game, he's done very, very little. Put him back a bit. We know he's a workhorse, so he will track back. He will have no bother tracking back. But we also know he is a deceptive threat if he can get in behind what's likely to be Robertson, I guess. On the other side, well, you've got a choice between Tyrell Malacia and Diogo Dalot. It has to be Dalot. It just has to be. Malacia is not. He's just not at this level. He's had a long injury. I feel for him, but he's just not at this level. So you can't play him. You can play him in games where he can be, protected by those around him. But this is a massive match. He's going to be against Mo Salah. It has to be Diogo Dalot. It just has to be. In the middle, I think it's definitely not going to be Casemiro and Eriksen. We know that much. Ugarte is going to come back in. I would put Ugarte in, and I think Kobbie has to be beside him. Kobbie did more than enough the other night to say he's definitely should be starting this match. He gave us some control over Newcastle, which was much needed. The next positions are really quite difficult because, like I said, Højlund's doing nothing. We know Bruno's going to come back in. Absolutely, that's unquestionable. He's going to come back in. He's not going to be dropped. So Bruno's going to come back in, and I wonder if he comes back a little bit. So it's no longer a 3-4-2-1 sort of formation, and more so maybe a 4.5. I just think Bruno will be deeper. I think he will be deeper, and I think it'll be more about hitting Liverpool on the break. This formation's built for control. We're incapable of controlling the match right now, and so I think it'll be a case of whenever we retrieve the ball deep in our own half, give it to Bruno, let him look for runners, whether that's Ahmed on the right or the other person who I think plays beside Bruno, potentially Garnacho. Up front, maybe even Rashford. A lot of fans are against the idea of him coming back at all. I don't agree with that. We have to use the tools that we have. If he wants to leave, fine, no hassle. But until a bid comes in, we have to make use of him. He's earning $325,000 a week, something like that. We have to make use of him. And tell you what, if he scored at Liverpool, if he got 1 goal, 2 goal, he would be cheered. The fans would be chanting his name. If we won that match and Rashford scores 2 goals, fans will chant his name. They will chant his name at the end of the match. The United fans who travel will not boo him if he scores 2 goals and wins us the match. It's just not going to happen. And so, making use of his talent is more important. And if it's not working, it's not working. You change it. But right now, Højlund's not working. Højlund against Van Dijk, that worries me. And I know Rashford's not a forward. I know that hasn't worked in the past. However, we need a different dynamic here. We need a different threat because what we're doing is not working. They're going to prepare for Højlund playing. That will be in their preparation. That will be in their game plan. Maybe we need to mix things up a little. I know we are putting a lot of square pegs in round holes with this formation. However, that's also what Amorim's doing. He does not have the players to play this formation. We're getting to a stage where I'm wondering why they've hired him. Liverpool apparently looked at Amorim last season and did not hire him for the very reason that it would be square pegs in round holes. They knew they didn't have the players for his formation to work. They knew they'd have to do a lot of purchasing. Ineos, for whatever reason, have ignored that. Now, I want to backhammer him. I absolutely want to backhammer him. But right now, things are not working. If we get down the line to February and things are still not working, what happens? If we get to March, April, May, is this a manager who, if he finishes 14th, 13th, 15th, is he someone you say, yes, let's give him 100, 200, 250 million? I don't know where we're going to get that from. It doesn't seem as though we have it. Is he a manager you're going to give that money to? I don't know. I just do not know. These are really tricky times at United. Really tricky times. So that's the formation I would play. Just to give it again: Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro, Ahmad, Kobe, Ugarte, Diogo Dalot, Bruno, slightly deeper, Garnacho, or an alternative to Garnacho, maybe Casemiro, and you obviously play him deeper, and maybe Kobe's the one that goes a wee bit further forward. But I think we need more solidity in the middle. I just don't think it's going to work with those two. Ugarte, for me, Ugarte has been quite good. I've seen criticism of him recently, and that he just looks okay. I mean, listen to Bruno speak about him. He loves that Ugarte is a pest to the opposition. He didn't let Man City sit on the ball whenever we played them at the Etihad. I think he's going to be a good player for us. And I was worried about him on the ball, but he's been fine. Against Newcastle, when he played for Paris Saint-Germain, they targeted Ugarte and he really struggled. But honestly, I think he's been great so far. I have no criticisms of him. So, maybe Bruno goes deeper. Maybe it's Casemiro instead of Garnacho, and he goes into the middle, and it's set up shop. It's set up shop and hope to maybe get them on the counter, with Rashford maybe up forward. Something needs to change. What we're doing right now is not working. I think it has to change. In terms of predictions for the score, I'm just not looking forward to this. I'm just not looking forward to this. If you didn't know, I currently live in Australia. So what that means for me in terms of watching a match, we are 8 hours behind the UK. 8 hours ahead of the UK. So what that means for me is I wake up in the morning, and before I go to work, I tend to watch the matches. So seeing a match live is really, really difficult. I was able to see the FA Cup final live because it worked out with holidays. However, seeing a match live becomes really challenging. So this match I'll probably watch at about 5 in the morning. I also want to watch the Old Firm game tomorrow, so I'll watch that afterwards. But I can't emphasize enough how much this ruins your day. I'm sure there's fans across the world who are also in this predicament, where you get up early before work and you invest time in watching what essentially are these clowns nowadays, and it's abysmal. It ruins your day. It absolutely ruins your day. So, my prediction for this match is going to be a defeat. We know that much. It's going to be a defeat. In terms of what the score will be, I don't see us scoring. I absolutely do not see us scoring. How can we score? How can we score? Who's going to score a goal? It's not going to be Højlund. I can tell you that much. I would give you really good odds for Højlund to score if you want to put a bet on. Probably 35-40 to 1 for him to score. I would love to eat my words. This match is going to be something to nil. thing about it, with the way we are, it could be 5-0. This could be a real hiding, and Liverpool are going to go for it. That's the scary thing as well. Liverpool are really going to go for this. They're going to go for the jugular. They want to punish us. They want to kick us when we're down. They've already beaten us 3-0 this season at Old Trafford. They beat us 3-0 in pre-season, where we actually played really well. We played really, really well. But they beat us 3-0. I think they're going to score at least 2 goals. And that is if we go ultra defensive. I think they'll score 2 goals. If we try and take this game to them, 4 at least. It's a scary prospect. But it's one in which I'm sure is going to ruin my day when I watch it. So my prediction, I'll go in the middle between 2 and 4. I'll say 3-0. I'll say it's a repeat of Old Trafford. I don't see us scoring. I absolutely do not see us scoring. I just don't know who would get the goal. I think Bruno or Ahmad potentially. Casemiro with a header maybe if he's on the pitch. But I just can't see it. I just cannot see it. So 3-0. If I was a betting man, I would go at least 3 goals to Liverpool. Absolutely. Again, Liverpool have lost once in 13 against us. They've scored 3 or more in their last 3 games. They have a goal difference of plus 28. It's not looking good. It's absolutely not looking good. This season is a disaster, an absolute disaster. It's really difficult to even think about, to be honest. But anyway, match is coming up soon. We'll see what happens. In other news, the Player of the Month for December was announced. Ahmad won that with 78% of the vote, Harry Maguire with 7%, and Ugarte with 15%. I think Ahmad's been really good when he's been really good. Other times he's been okay. I don't think he's a Man United player. I don't think he's going to be lining up for us in 2 years' time. I don't think he's going to be a first choice. I think people will forget this small bubble of good form. You know, people forget about Januzaj, for example. What a great player he was for a season. And then it just all went away. It all fell apart. I'm worried Ahmad would be the same. In fact, I'm even worried Garnacho's going to be the same. I definitely see him leaving. I really, really do. I don't think he wants to play football. He knows clubs will be interested in him. He wants to go to the top. That's going to be hard to do with us, with how we play. So yeah, a really cheery one today. Thanks for listening. Please give us a like, subscribe, a comment. Get in touch if you have any questions, if you want to be involved in the podcast. That's awesome. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it.